Hello, my name is Sirius and welcome to the video. For the last perhaps 2 weeks, I fell into my bad habit of overworking. I know, it's bad, but fortunately, today that's all over. I finished the things I needed to do. I can finally breathe again. So, I guess that's how we got here. As you can see, I'm drawing my OC, Z. Of course, after a long and exhausting week or so, I just have an urge to grab a piece of paper and do what I do best. Drawing. I mean, what else is a better way to enjoy this day? How could I not, right? Z is my comfort character when sketching. I guess I instinctively just started drawing her after hitting the play button. I'm sketching Z's after time skip design. When I'm inking the sketch, I noticed too late that her dress was too far long. It's supposed to be a knee-high dress. It's kinda cute, to be honest, so I'm not too bothered by it. It just makes her look more younger, maybe. The version of Z that I'm drawing is in her teen years, around 16-ish. Don't quote me on that. I'm still editing some details about her, more on her backstory than anything really. After the time skip arc, I originally planned for her to be in her teen years. If she doesn't look like a teenager in this drawing, I'm sorry. Let's just say it's a skill issue. Here, I'm coloring her with color pencils. I have yet to buy another set of alcohol markers because some of my old ones just ran out of ink recently. Color pencils is another medium that I love to use, so you'll see me use this more in future videos. After a while, I'm starting to like my drawing of Z, so I plan to just cut this out, then paste it on my sketchbook. Okay, maybe I'm going ahead of myself, but I'm in the zone right now to draw some more. I'll try filling up a whole page or two of the sketchbook. It will be nice to have a page dedicated to Z alone. After this, I colored in her outline more so that I could cut it more easily. I also flattened the colors by coloring it with color pencils. After it's done, I grab my scissors, then start cutting it. To make the pages of my sketchbook stand out, I decided to add some color to it. I grab a piece of blue paper to create a background for Z. Before I forget, a friendly reminder: don't be like me. What? What I mean is, everyone needs a break once in a while. Don't overwork yourself like I did. That's why take this time to just sit down, relax, maybe grab your sketchbook, a pen, and sketch with me. Moving on to the second sketch, I went for a more simple pose Nothing too fancy, just a sketch to familiarize myself with sketching her again. As I continue on, I keep on forgetting how much of an interesting character she is. Not to discard any of my other OCs, but Z, you could say that she wears her heart on her sleeves. Hence, she makes a lot of facial expressions. In this drawing, I want to emphasize just that. Later on, I would also like to draw a scene in the book, in which all of my OCs are from. Just any scene where she's the main highlight. Right away, there are two on the top of my head. I guess I can draw both of it. I noticed that I'm sketching too soft, so I started to give more contrast to her outline by giving it layers of hatching and inking some parts. For the next two drawings that I'll be sketching on this page, I will only use pen and ink to keep it balanced. In Z's hometown, which I think I already discussed in another video, it's always cold and snowing there. If it's not snowing, then it's raining. I want to draw her on a big fur coat. More specifically, I sketched this one scene of her talking to another OC of mine. It's an emotional scene. This is where Z truly gets to shine in the books. I would love to someday draw this scene in a manga panel, but let's not get our hopes up just yet, cause it will be a while before I finish the book. Out of all the sketches, I am confident to say that this is my favorite sketch I did today. And I was thinking of putting a dialogue box beside her, but went against it since I haven't worked on her dialogue yet. I'm bothered by this, so I instead put a quote from Raymond, my other OC, at the bottom, where he describes what kind of person Z is in his eyes. I think it's a good addition to this page considering him and Z are close friends. So far, so good, but here comes the hard part. I go ahead and sketch Z in a fighting stance. This is another scene in the book where she's cutting her arm with a knife. Since I'm sketching Z, the page will not be complete if I didn't draw her stardust. Stardust in their world is basically equivalent to powers or magic. I'm drawing how Z forces her stardust to come out. A fun fact about Z is that she has a hard time using her power. I will not say why that is, but all you have to know is that she has to injure herself with that knife for her to be able to access her stardust. It's a thing in the story, don't worry. She's not the only character of mine that gets injured. Anyway, I drew her hand and face with sharp patterns. Those are scars from her stardust. If you think about it, it's like a skin disease, where it spreads on their body whenever they use their stardust. Her scars are not supposed to look like that. It's more, let's say it's bloody. But of course, for obvious reasons, I do it like this. Less realistic for now. For those who saw the many digital sketches I did for Z, you can see them in my Instagram account and Kara account. Z Stardust is red. Every one of my OC that has these powers has different colored stardust. Red stardust is unique only with Z. Since this is another page of the sketchbook, I colored it with colored pencils. I had a fun time using the colored pencils because it's been a while since I used them. I mainly use acrylic nowadays. I can't help but enjoy using this. Maybe because I also like how you could see the hatching I did with the pen underneath the color pencils. It adds texture to the drawing. And then I add a red marker above her scars to show that her stardust is coming out. To make a smoky effect, I color it with red color pencils, just around the outline of it. There's a small space left to draw at the top, so I decided I would draw a close-up sketch of her with all the scars on her face and neck from the stardust. The stardust on the last drawing was what I emphasized the most. That's why I think I would like to have a separate drawing of her in the aftermath of using her stardust. And again, I'm not going for any dynamic poses or anything. Instead, I would like to focus more on Z's facial expression. And as you can see, I sketch her with a more serious expression. Later on, I color in her scars on the face and neck. I didn't do that to the whole drawing because it will be too much. Then lastly, I add on a blue background with a marker to make it pop out. At the bottom, I put Z's color palette, red, blue, and white. Yes, I did not include black. It's okay. For the last sketch, I would like to draw her in her clothes from her hometown. This is not yet officially how the clothes really look like. Throughout the years I've been sketching her, I still have yet to design that. So I just drew how I picture it in my head. I also look for reference pictures in Pinterest. The way I picture it is that Z's clothes should have multiple layers because the temperature of her hometown is freezing cold. Most important of all, her clothes should have a lot of jewelry and accessories on it. With that said, here's the output. I'm afraid that's all for today. Go follow me on Kara on Instagram to see more of my artwork and also the sketches I did today of my OC. See! Once again, I'm Yuris and I wish you a terrific day.